How do you continue that for the rest of the game?
We got to come out with our energy. We got to come out and play our game and keep going out there and pushing. Our defense and everybody's rotating, so we're playing together right now.
We'll see if you stay connected in the second half. Thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. We'll be back after halftime for the start of the third quarter.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the NBA on 2K Sports. This is our halftime show. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. The first quarter for the Raptors was fairly even. Their field goal percentage was a robust 50% in the period. That's something they can hang their hat on. They found their rhythm in the second quarter and have to be feeling good here at the break, holding on to that 4-point lead. And taking a look at the Raptors, Kenny, what did you see out there?
Well, I like that they're aggressively going to the rack. That establishes an attitude, a certain toughness. They just need to stay committed to their game plan.
Shaq, what was your takeaway on the Clippers?
Their defense has been practically non-existent. Sure, they faced a team that got hot. You could even say a bit lucky at times, but no one is stepping up on D and taking anything away. Have some pride. Don't let a guy shoot like that in your face.
And that'll do it for our halftime report. Stay tuned for the second half.
And if you're just joining us, we've played through the first half in a game that's been fairly even so far. Indoors for a long time, few people realized how efficient the three-point shot can be. The extra point making such a difference. Why do you think it took a while for that thought process to hold?
Well, I think obviously we have advanced metrics, and the reason we have advanced metrics is there are more ways to monitor the things that happen between the lines, right? There are cameras everywhere. We can track people's data via computer programs. But I think one of the interesting things to me, Kevin, is that Steph Curry really has changed the logistics of what defines a quality shot. Here's a guy who steps across half court, and when he does, he's in range. So the influence of Steph Curry cannot be understated.
Great example. Taking a look at Los Angeles. JaMychal Green is out there with Montrezl Harrell. Then there's Kawhi Leonard. Then it's Paul George, and it's Beverly in at the point guard. Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, guys, the Clippers are going in a new direction. Now, Coach Doc Rivers said, we had a shot. I don't think anybody understands how hard it is to win a title. Until you do that, you're going to be frustrated a lot and have to make tough decisions. Kevin?
Well, they're trying to make the right decisions to rebuild better than before, D.A. Thanks. Softly drops in the floater. Beverly's got his second bucket of the game to go.
And for Beverly, showing a little in-between game there.
And Gasol with the dunk.
And nobody, guys, among the defenders stepping up to challenge him on that drive to the 10.
And Greg, he says, thank you very much, and sails in for the flush.
Yeah, you know, they may have gotten the feeling he would dish it off, but he had a surprise for them.
Catching up on the changes for Toronto. Rondé Hollis-Jefferson, he's checked in for Stanley Johnson. Jeremy Lin comes in for Norman Powell. And it's Fred VanVleet in for Kyle Lowry. George, no good.
Solid rebound there, and with the score like it is, that's an area where they can't afford to get lazy. Yeah, I mean, maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that one.
And we know he's capable of those memorable ones. And the Clippers call time here. In addition to going over the game plan and making whatever necessary adjustments have to be made, Greg, this timeout also the time for players to get rehydrated or hydrate for the first time with some Gatorade. Plenty of basketball still to be played here, and they have to get recharged.
That's a great point. Without proper hydration, a player can completely run out of gas down the stretch of a game. And that's something that none of these guys can afford to have happen. If you're going to battle all the way to the finish, you have got to be hydrated.
The Raptors making a switch here. Ibaka's checked in. The Clippers in the past few seasons, Greg, have completely overhauled their roster. They are making some serious changes here.
Practically nobody from the team 2 years ago is still with the franchise. It was a complete teardown, and they felt they needed to hit the reboot, but Jerry West knows what he's doing, though, and he's done this before with great success.
Clippers trail by 8. Plenty of space. Will not go. This is off the front iron. Van Vliet kicks to Lynn. He dishes it to Ibaka. To the inside. Stolen by Zubats. Some nice ball movement by the Clippers. And he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time. The whistle blowing.
Really the right play defensively. If you can't block, force them to the line.
The Clippers shooting their 4th and 5th shots at the foul line in the game. Well, after the Raptors fell short of their goals last season, you knew they were going to be changing some things up.
Well, obviously the first big move was moving on from Dwayne Casey as the head coach. And you think about Dwayne had brought the best years this franchise had seen, and they still felt it was time for a shift. Now, it's not necessarily his blame. Sometimes you just need to hear a new voice when you've ended in the playoffs the way they have over the last several years.
Kept alive, Hollis Jefferson, and there's the bucket. Stay with it on the offensive glass, getting it done.
But how about the persistence from Hollis Jefferson? He's keeping possessions alive with his activity.
Kicks it to Williams. .104 left in the third. No coverage that time. 6 points for George.
I'll tell you, there are guys in the league you can give that three-point attempt to. He is not one of those guys.
Here's Van Vliet, defended by Harkless. Down low. There's Hollis Jefferson. 6 to shoot. Ibaka finds Lynn. No good off the back of the rim. And so George will bring it up for Los Angeles. That 3 off the mark. Shot clock and game clock separated by less than 6 seconds. Snatched up. A nice shot by Gasol. Gasol's got 7 points.
And after really leaning on that three-point shot in the first half, seeming like they're just getting away from it here in the second. More of the shots coming from the interior.
Now Williams. He has 5. Releases. No good on the last second attempt there. And that's going to do it for the third quarter. Raptors lead by 7. And coming up as soon as we return from break, the fourth quarter gets underway. And it's time now to bring you our State Farm assist of the game.
And how about the floor generalship right here? I mean, showing us why they're always in good hands when he's the man in charge.
Well, this is exactly what you're looking for from your point guard. Survey the floor, serve it up on time and on target.
And with 3 quarters behind us, let's see what this fourth period holds in store for us. Marc Gasol is out there with Ibaka. Then there's Lowry. Then there's Norman Powell. And it's Johnson in at the 3 slot. So that's the 5 in the game for Toronto.
They're consistently finding ways to get the ball inside and taking full advantage.
And it's out of bounds. And they say it was last touched by Leonard. Siakam is checked in for Marc Gasol. Patrick Beverley, he's checked in for the Clippers. Now here's Lowry. Pass to Siakam. That falls. Nice feed that time from Kyle Lowry. Lowry's got his 9th assist in the game now. George against Johnson. George with the ball. Shoots. Powell pulls it in.
And with the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in the driver's seat.
Got that one up quick. Siakam's got 26 points. Of course, I'm sure you look at these players, evaluate who could make a possible head coach out of the group I'm watching right now. And I'm sure there are a couple players that come to mind for it.
Well, I think when you just talk basketball intellect, one of the first guys that comes to mind is Rajon Rondo. I mean, his insatiable appetite to watch film, to have complete understanding not only of the sets of his own team, but Rajon Rondo, when he's on the defensive end of the floor, as soon as a play is called, he will repeat it and basically tell the teammates, hey, look for this action here. So Rajon Rondo comes to mind. Someone like Andre Iguodala, who also is someone Steve Kerr has referred to as maybe the smartest player he's ever been around. Now, so much more to coaching than just basketball intellect. You've got to be willing to deal with the egos and things, and do these players want to do that? Who knows?
Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Well, during that last break, Kevin, I got a chance to hear what Doc Rivers said to his team. He is not pleased, and he told them they have to make a push right now. He said, look, we got to make a move, or I've got to pull the plug. Pretty blunt stuff, Kevin. Back to you.
Lowry kicks to Johnson. At the elbow, it's Ibaka. Outside Lowry. This one for three. It's hauled in by Los Angeles. George has got 4 rebounds now tonight. Fourth quarter of play, and we're about 2.5 minutes through it right now. To stop the run, and the layup is up and in.
Well, Kevin, that's not an easy play. Paul George is an extraordinary player. Keeps his eye on the bucket at all times.
Beverly against Lowry. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. It's going to be on Montrezl Harrell. Kyle Lowry, one of the better rebounders you'll see at that point guard position.
Well, at 6'1", he does an incredible job rebounding the position, particularly given his size. And you love that he's committed to it long term.
Marcus All's checked in for Serge Ibaka. Feeds to Leonard. Powell with the steal. Three-pointer, Lowry drills it from outside.
And guys, what we saw here tonight is one side having everything going for them. Huge margin of victory for Toronto.
Looking at both these teams, they're great rebounders, and on any given night, you might not know who would have the advantage on the boards.
They made the most of those extra rebounds as well, Kevin.
Well, you love the tenacity. Paul George cannot be contained when he gets near the 10.
And there's the whistle, illegal screen.
And had the right idea there in calling for the screen, but he was just slow to get to the spot and didn't get set.
Yeah, just a matter of he needs to be there a split second earlier. Not much room for error when you're setting a screen.
Catching up on the changes for Toronto. Rondé Hollis-Jefferson, he's checked in for Siakam. Jeremy Lin comes in for Norman Powell. And it's Fred VanVleet in for Kyle Lowry. Williams gets the bucket. 29 seconds left in the game. Lin the pass to VanVleet. There's Hollis-Jefferson. No good with the triple. And it's Williams with the ball for the Los Angeles Clippers. Shamet. And the wing jumper offline. Here's VanVleet. Goes up to the stripe. And so Toronto takes this one, but by a big margin. A confident win, and one where they clearly showed the greater effort.
Yeah, I mean, it was a solid performance.
David, thank you as always. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and
Money 111, man.